You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender. I don't know if you've got this one yet, Lisa, but
that seems a little too kind for me. You know, I was expecting that.
Could be. It could,
I'll have to think of my walk-on music.
All
That's
right,
what I
here we
need
go.
to come up with.
Lisa Dunn is back with us. Laurel Real Estate Resources. Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by, but hey, you know something? We all have to grow.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Growing not that way, but hey, yeah, the team is growing, so I don't get every call first, but I do have a great team. But when it comes to developing a financing plan to save you money, I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And of course, we celebrate today Shop for Travel Day.
What was that?
Shop for Travel Day.
Like go on Expedia and look for a deal
I guess that's the idea there. So I guess I just need to go to wine country, and that's all my shopping for travel is. Now, this one doesn't work too well here in California. Step in a puddle and splash your friends day. That can only be done like once a year in California.
Yeah, I think we missed that window already. That was a week ago or something like that.
Although I did hear that Healdsburg, their lakes are now at 55%. So they were down at about 30% fill. So they're happy up there. Sad one, no, but we do need to keep our eye on the ball. National Human Trafficking Awareness Day. It is prevalent. We need to keep our eye on the ball on that one. And I don't know about this one, Josh. National Milk Day. Now, for me, the only way we go to National Milk Day is if we got cookies to go with it, right? Or
what's the movie where Robert De Niro's like, if you're a mammal, I can milk you?
There's nothing that Robert De Niro says that I listen to.
It was a movie with Ben Stiller. What was and then where the cat knocks the ashes all over? Okay, whatever.
The last movie I went to is Brian's Song, the original. Right, Josh? I was in the '60s. Sorry about that. I mean, the one they did the remake, that one sucked.
Wasn't that like 72 or something?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Moving right along, Dow Jones Industrial Average now up 20. Wow, Dow's up 22. I haven't said that in a while. S&P 500 is up 22.87. The Nasdaq's up 189.71. Oil up $2.78 a barrel, 81.01. Ow! You still have your electric vehicle?
No, I got a new car that actually outperforms my 2018 hybrid.
Oh.
On mileage. And so I'd be really scared to see what the 2022 hybrid's mileage would be.
That's interesting. Well, you look at it, and with oil going up, it's not fun.
Yeah.
We got a lot in the news today. How about this is fact? Got a lot of stuff going on. So I don't know if you spent any time last night watching the football game.
Oh my!
This has
been like football, just madness for the
crazy,
past
isn't it?
2 days. Yeah.
And then next week we got Saturday, Sunday, and Monday for the NFL playoffs.
Can't wait.
So, but here, I just love watching our government in action. Our president is getting so much bad information from his staff. I mean, do you really think anybody in Georgia today wants to go and listen to the president of the United States talk about the elections? I don't know if they want to go there anyway, but I mean, the day after Georgia wins the national championship, now his staff had no way of knowing that Georgia was going to win, but it was either Georgia or Alabama. We've known that for a week. So, don't you think they might have wanted to wait for this speech for the end of the week, maybe instead of the day after the game? Everyone, either in Georgia, I know I've got friends in Georgia. Well, I've got a lot of friends in low places, but Georgia, they're either hungover right now from the game last night. It ended about midnight their time. I was asleep here, so what do you think it was in Georgia? Or they're getting up today to celebrate and start partying all over again. Even Black Lives Matter doesn't want to go to his speech today. They're boycotting it. I just throw that out there. But, it's all, and the president's out there going to talk about election fraud. I wonder if he's going to bring up the idea that we need to have a vaccine at the same time. I'm going to the Ducks game tonight, and I got a message yesterday that said, I have to show my ID. No, I'm not going there to vote. I'm just going there for a Ducks game. But I got to show my ID, and I got to show them that I've been vaccinated twice, or I've got a antigen test or a PCR test, or I don't know, or I don't know what all the tests are, right? And then the government comes out and they said, well, we're going to have a vaccine for Omicron next month. I think everybody in the whole country is going to have had Omicron before next month. Right? Although I do know that, my son tested positive for it. His fiance tested positive, but it never came back. All it said was COVID-19 positive. It doesn't say Omicron positive. It didn't say Delta positive. It didn't even say she. Oh, no, we skipped she. Sorry. It didn't say any of those things. But how about this one? They did find a new way. Quebec City. Quebec has found a new way to get their people to go get vaccinated, even the ones that don't want vaccines. Did you see this one in the news? I can't make this stuff up. So in vaccines, they said now to go and buy, legally, I guess, pot or booze in Quebec, you have to show that you've been vaccinated.
I like that.
That's quadruple. Okay, so what are you going for, the pot or the booze? I'm just throwing that out there. But so their vaccine, their number of people who have gotten vaccinated has quadrupled.
See, you just got to give a little bribe.
Yeah, a little bribe.
All
right, so you can't get high unless you get the jab that doesn't work for the Omicron that they got. 1.4 million people tested positive yesterday. Just yesterday, 1.4 million. Moving right along. How about, did you check this one out? Jamie Dimon, right? So he's the head of Chase Bank. I think it's Chase Bank. Came out and says 4 rate hikes are okay for the economy this year. 4 rate hikes. He didn't mention that does really good for his bank. They make more money with higher interest rates. Didn't bring that up. Bill Dudley, Fed president, or Fed, one of the guys in the Fed, 5 to 6 rate hikes are okay. They didn't mention the fact that what is that going to do to a struggling economy? Yeah, I know there's some people out there that say we got a great economy. We created 199,000 jobs with 11 million jobs opened. And they didn't mention the idea that by definition, we are going to have a recession. I don't know if it's going to be the end of this year, beginning of next year, but we have to have a recession. Why? Because the government is cutting their spending by $5 trillion each year, right? $5 trillion. Now that goes into GDP. So if they, by definition, that's going to cause a recession, right? The normal government budget is $4 trillion a year. Between President Trump and President Biden, they've decided, okay, we're going to spend an extra $10 trillion over the last 2 years to fight the virus. Well, wait a second, not to fight the virus, because the virus is still here. But whatever they decided they wanted to fight, right? So they increased government spending by $5 trillion each year. That's going to be cut back unless the Democrats and the Republicans can get together to create another $5 trillion spending bill. Do you think that's going to happen? They can't even get together to find out what time of day it is, right? So those guys,
You know better than that.
even though, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, right? They don't get along. I'm just throwing that out there. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, why inflation should not stop you from buying a home in 2022, how to start building your credit for free. Is there a monopoly at the National Association of Realtors? We're going to talk about all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial when you're ready for that next home loan. Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to be the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Nikki's standing by. She will take care of you with gold glove treatment. Dow Jones now up 40 points. The NASDAQ is up 194 points. I like that one. S&P 500, that one is up 2139. 10-year Treasury down 1 basis point. Mortgage-backed securities down 2 basis points. Why is all of this happening? Well, we got the NFIB, Small Business Optimism Index, increased by 0.5 in December to 98.9, above expectations of 98.8. We're also listening, as I mentioned to you earlier, Jamie Dimon's commentary. Gotta love this one. It's just only in America, right? Fed Vice Chair Richard Clarida. I don't know if you've heard this one at all. Now, his term ends January 31st, but he's resigning as of January 14th. Can't make this stuff up. So it was uncovered that he changed his disclosures to show that he moved money out of the stock fund as a pandemic spread and markets fell, then bought back days later, just before the Federal Reserve announced it was going to step in and provide economic support. Government officials doing this kind of stuff.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
And Senator Warren decides that we need to have an investigation into this. But she didn't put into her investigation request Congress, who does the same garbage. Now, if I did this kind of stuff, yeah, I'd be up. They'd want to hang me from the highest tree, something along those lines. Fed member Raphael Bostic said in an interview, "We're ready to act to make sure inflation does not run away from us. That is the most important message that people should hear when they hear me or any of my colleagues talk. We are paying close attention, and we're going to do that, whatever we need to make sure the economy stays in a good place." Well, maybe you got to talk to the other side, right? The fiscal policy people, and stop spending an extra $5 trillion. Do we know what the definition of inflation is? Maybe the Fed people don't, but I'm going to share with you, I've told you before, too much money chasing too few goods. Well, the government just put an extra $5 trillion into the economy each of the last 2 years. Don't you think that's a lot of money chasing goods? I'll just throw that out there. CoreLogic, this is good news. CoreLogic released their performance insights showing that loans 30 days or more past due decreased from 3.9 to 3.8 in October. 90 days plus or seriously delinquent decreased from 2.4 to 2.2. Foreclosures remained at 0.2, which is the lowest level in over 2 decades. Just throw that out there. Got to end the foreclosure process 1 out of over 750 homes. Lisa, you probably remember 2009, 10, 11.
Oh
I think you cleared a couple digits off of that.
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, seriously, inventory levels now for certain cities are single digits. Back then, they were 3 digits.
Yeah.
The first one was not a 1.
Right. It's crazy. So foreclosures, I told you yesterday, we went over it in depth. If you missed it, sorry. But the foreclosure market just is not there.
Regardless what anybody tells you out there.
Exactly.
There is nothing out there. Same with the forbearance. There's nothing out there.
Nothing out there, nothing coming, none of that stuff. So just be aware it is a myth. That's the Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial when you're ready for that next home loan. Geneva's got the programs and the products. Now, we need your help, folks. If you've got comments, I'd love to read you and talk to you. I need you to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, and you can actually put a comment, just give us authorization so we know who you are. We've got Facebook user. If someone's being forced out of a home due to divorce and then therefore out of state, should they buy out of state or try to rent for a few years? I'm thinking Arizona or Texas. What do you think, Lisa?
I think Arizona and Texas are okay. Depends where in Texas. If you're looking Austin, it's pretty overheated right now. Definitely same situation as Idaho, massively overheated due to California money coming in because we all think it's a bargain when really it's not if you live in those states. So,
here's another issue that I'm going to share with you. And again, I don't know your name, but just my opinion. If there's any possible way to keep your California residents, and I know I'm as conservative as the next guy, maybe more, right? And I understand going to Arizona and I understand going to Texas and Tennessee, but California, did you notice the weather today? Did you know? I mean, it's going to be 80 degrees outside today.
It's gorgeous
outside. It's gorgeous out. And once you leave California, it's tough to get back. So if you're thinking about it, rent your California property, go and see if you really like it in Arizona or Texas. And that way you have a way of coming back if you desire.
Well, no, that's good information because especially like I had a lot of clients that went to Las Vegas and they're like, oh my gosh, I can get this house and that price. And whatever you do, you keep your house here, rent it out, just do a 1-year lease, 6-month lease, whatever. See if you like it. Is it everything cracked up to be? Just, really, is it what you want to do?
Make sure you're there in August.
And I had one do it, and they said that was the best advice they were ever given. And they're back in their house, happy as little clams. Everybody else has not been able to buy in California. They came back, and they've all been renting. And we're talking decades.
Right. It's great. And I know a lot of personal friends moved out for the tax benefits. They were fortunate enough to be in the financial position that they stayed out of California for 5 years. I wonder if there's a magic number there. But they stayed out of California for 5 years, and now they're moving back.
Yeah.
Right? So just think about that part of it. So I'm just sharing that little bit of information with you. Hi, Doug. I don't know who Doug is, but we'll say hi to Doug also.
Hi, Doug.
Hi, Doug. And another Facebook user says, good morning. So we appreciate all of you being with us, and good morning to all of you. Yeah, or if you're watching us on the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 KMET,
they're watching us
broadcast. Yeah, they have a video feed.
Wow,
they have a video feed. Absolutely.
I thought you were trying to get yourself some of that those drugs in Canada there for a minute.
Well, I got vaccinated, so I can go and do that. But I'm about as square as they come. Bring me my Kettle One. Bring me my Grey Goose, Tito's, You know, I go all directions.
I don't know. Yeah, I've been kind of going more the whiskey route lately.
Whiskey route.
Whiskey route. Yeah, you know, I mean, Tito is still a very good friend, but but you know, Basil Hayden's has become a better friend lately.
Okay, well, if you're in Orange County, the Tartan Room has Tito Tuesday. So I just throw that out there just for anybody that wants to have any input there.
I kind of go for old-fashioned Thursday myself.
Old-fashioned. I'm old-fashioned. I could go old-fashioned any day, right?
Yeah, so can I, really.
There we go. Okay, so let's chat with Lisa Dunn.
Besides our drinking preferences, let's talk about something substantial here.
Okay, I think I'll have another drink. My drink is a little low. Can I have another?
I swear this is water. Okay.
Yeah, sure. It's an opaque cup. We have no idea. Now, Josh is over there in Vegas, so they don't do any drinking in Vegas. Yeah, I don't know what's in his Coke can, but if the broadcast starts going a little fluttering or whatever, we know that our producer's Coke can has been spiked. But in any event, what's going on in the world? I mean, I haven't seen you in a whole year. I haven't seen you at least this year.
I was going to say, you haven't seen me this year, that's for sure. But no, been busy out, you know, doing what a busy realtor does, you know, co-own a company. So we've grown in size exponentially, you know, over the past few months.
1 to 2 is an exponent. Oh,
no.
I'm just kidding.
We went from 4 to, I believe we're at 16.
Wow.
Right
nice.
now. And
awesome.
Been busy with my, you know, not only, you know, selling real estate for, you know, helping my clients, but working as a not working. I volunteer.
Working means you get paid. I think
I volunteer.
When you do the paying, I don't think that's called working.
Yeah, I don't think so. With California Association of Realtors and as the National Association of Realtors, I'm fortunate to be a director on both of them.
I think they're fortunate. I don't know about.
Well, thank you, thank you. But you know, it is quite an honor because we have. Oh my gosh, what is our membership number? 1.3, 1.4 million, maybe 1.5 million. You know, because everybody wants to be a real estate agent. But we have a realtor membership, you know, well over 1 million members. And
that's national or California?
That's national. California, we're about 220,000.
Last I heard, there's about 19,000 just in Orange County. Is that right?
Oh, no, there's way more than that.
Wow.
Yeah, there's probably closer to 25 to 30,000. 25
to 30,000 realtors. And how many transactions do we do?
Well, right now we have our inventory level is hovering just above 1,000-ish for the county. So how do these people make money? So this is a good segue into something we talked briefly off air is, you know, we have all of these agents out there. We have few properties. We have many buyers. Who's working for you? What do they know? How much experience do the agents that you know have? And can they successfully navigate a market like this, whether you're in a selling position, which everybody just thinks, well, any trained monkey can just go out and throw a sign up in the yard.
That's probably true. But it's
well,
what
the
they have to
monkey
do
can
after
put the
that.
sign up on the yard, but you know, they can't work the cell phone to get the lockbox on.
There you go.
But there's so much more to a transaction nowadays than people realize. And this is same on the buyer's side. You have so much to navigate through. There's so many things, you know, California, you know, everybody says what a horrible state it is. Well, you know, we're actually really above the curve on a lot of things. The rest of the country looks to California as to how we do our business in California because we are pro-consumer. Not to say the seller is not protected, because the seller certainly is. It's a matter of keeping the seller from being sued by not doing everything when the buyers come in and get their disclosures and do their investigations. So, you know, we were...
That's a big issue right there. And I don't know... Let's see. We got a comment here, and then we got to go take a break real quick. But,
what's our comment? So we can take a break.
Do California agents feel one should list now higher due to the few homes on the market? For example, a sold comp 1.2 million should list higher. I'm going to give you my answer when we come back. We're going to ask Lisa's when we come back. We're going to get both of them. So we're going to take about a minute break. I don't know if I've got the same answer as Lisa.
And I swear we're not going to talk about it off air.
We're not going to talk about it because we only got about a minute and I have to get a drink of water. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio discussing your
Calls
real
it
estate.
water.
Yeah, drink of something. Why inflation shouldn't stop you from buying a home in 2022. How to start building your credit for free. All that and more. You can reach me anytime off air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. You can also visit the website, rsrhomedigest.com, rsrhomedigest.com. Why inflation should not stop you from buying a home in 2022. If you're following along with the news today, you're probably hearing a lot about record-breaking home prices, rising consumer costs, supply chain constraints, and more. And if you're thinking about purchasing a home this year, all of these inflationary concerns are likely making you wonder if you should wait to buy. Investopedia explains that during a period of high inflation, prices rise across the board, and while home prices aren't immune from this increase, here's why inflation should not stop you from buying a home in 2022. Homeownership offers stability and security. Home prices have been increasing for quite some time, and experts say they're going to continue to climb throughout 2022. So, as a buyer, how can you protect yourself from rising costs for things like food, shelter, entertainment, and other goods and services? The answer lies in housing. Buying a home allows you to lock in your monthly mortgage payments for the foreseeable future. That means as other prices rise, your monthly payment will be consistent thanks to your fixed rate mortgage. This gives you the peace of mind that the bulk of your housing costs is shielded from inflation. James Royal, senior wealth management reporter at Bankrate, says, quote, a fixed rate mortgage allows you to maintain the biggest portion of housing expense at the same payment. Sure, property taxes will rise and other expenses may creep up, but your monthly housing payment remains the same, unquote. If you rent, you don't have that same benefit. You won't be protected from rising housing costs. As an added incentive to buy, consider that today's mortgage interest rates are lower than they have been in decades. While inflation decreases what your dollars can buy, low mortgage rates help counteract it by boosting your purchasing power so you can get more home for your money. They also help keep your monthly payments down. This is especially important during an inflationary period because you'll want to protect yourself from the impact of inflation as much as possible. Ali Wolf, chief economist at Zonda, explains, quote, if you have cash and are expecting inflation, you want to think through where you can put your money so it does not lose value. Housing is commonly looked at as a good inflation hedge, especially with interest rates so low, unquote. That's even with interest rates rising this last week as much as they have. Still, I bought my first house at 18%. We talked about this yesterday. Bottom line, the best hedge against inflation is fixed housing costs. That's why you shouldn't let it stop you from buying a home this year. Not sure where to start? Give us a call, 800-306-1990. Have a consultation. Nikki will see what you qualify for. Get out there, buy something. And as I told you yesterday, interest rates are going to increase. As the recession hits, they will decrease. That's the real-time real estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find that dream home before someone else does. So before the break, we had a question from Facebook user. Mr. and Mrs. User, let me ask the question again, then Lisa and I'll chat about it. California agents feel one should list now higher due to the few homes on the market. For example, a sold comp of 1.2 million. Should Mr. or Mrs. User list higher?
You go first.
I'm going to say I like the idea of talking to a real estate professional, find out what your property, get a competition of your property. Because the fact that neighbor sold at 1.2 million doesn't tell me, did they fix up their property? Did they not fix up the property? Do they have a view? Do they not have a view? Are they on a golf course? Not on a golf course. Do they have a pool? Not a pool. There's a lot of variables in there. So you need to have a realtor look at that. I am not a realtor. Not what I said?
You said realtor.
Oh, you need to have a realtor look at that and give you their expertise. I am a big proponent of listing property a little bit below market value, and the market is always going to be the market, right? So if you've got a realtor who's doing their job, and if you don't, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I can introduce you to realtors anywhere in the sound of my voice, right? And I know we're on the World Wide Web, and I know there's people in Idaho listening to us right now because I've got friends there and tell me they listen, right? So the concept, if they know how to market, not sell, but market, then the property is going to sell at market value, never above, never below, right? You've got to understand these things. So,
no, and I'm right there with you. And I'm going to go from just a general standpoint. You've got a comp. Everybody can see that closed sale on the internet. We all know that, you can see the pictures, you can see the yard, you can see the view, you can see this, you can see that. So they set the bar. Now, for today's market, and I'm going to say, the market du jour, because who knows what could happen tomorrow.
Right.
But for the past year.
Look what happened 2 Februarys ago. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, exactly. So, based on the performance of the real estate market in the past 18 months, okay, now you got a benchmark. You got a benchmark of 1.2 million. So your house, okay, so it's worth 1.2. So you list somewhere relatively close. And I wouldn't even go under, if your house is comparable. If your house is not comparable, then don't. If you have far more upgrades, yeah, you can push your price a little bit, but it isn't you making the decisions on what your home is worth. It's what the market says your home is worth. What you want to do is get as many people into that property as fast as you possibly can. Get them in, get them looking, get them excited. Let them bring the price to where the price needs to be. Because also, too, you have the appraisal issue. You got a comp here at 1.2. You happen to think your house is worth 1.4 for whatever reason, because, of course, it's your house. Your house is always special, and you think you know what your house is worth.
Of course it is.
Let the market speak. Let the market do its job. Start it off near that comp. The appraisers will see that you went with market rate. And then if your buyer pool drives that price up, now you got a boatload of offers. You can show that appraiser, I had one at this price, one at this price, one at this price, one at this price. We chose to go with that. And that's if your buyer needs a loan, because there's many people out there that don't need a loan to buy a house. So there's all kinds of things to take into consideration, but you want to drive as many people through that property as fast as you possibly can and realize, really, you're not in the driver's seat of dictating the value of that house. Let the market speak and do its job, and you will be the happy beneficiary of that.
So if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of the socials, I didn't have this. I didn't know we were going to talk about this today. I've got a chart showing on the screen right now. I'm driving Josh nuts because he's looking at what I'm doing, and I'm and it shows the impact of price on visibility, right? And if you put your property out at market value, the stats show 60% of the marketplace is going to see your property. If you put it below market value, you're going to see between 75 and 90% of the marketplace will see your property. So just take a look at that chart. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you'll see this chart. Or if you don't have it, give us a call or send a message, rj@RonSiegelRadio.com, rj@RonSiegelRadio.com. And I think we did a workshop on this. I don't remember the name of the workshop. I think it's how to maximize your price, rsrworkshops.com. It's just a matter of getting great real estate professionals to help you. And I know what people are going to say. I hear it all the time. Ron, I don't need a real estate professional to help me sell a piece of property or show my property in this marketplace. Properties are selling way too fast, right? I put a sign out there. I think we talked about it in the last segment of, the monkey can sell the property.
No, the monkey can put the sign in the yard.
Okay, the monkey can put the sign in the yard. That's true.
Maybe hold an open house.
Maybe. But maybe not safely. We did talk about
That's
that
true.
yesterday.
That's true.
You have to have all the
It could
COVID
get
protocols.
ugly. There's definitely some potential for ugly on that.
Right. So, but here's the issue, and I'm not exactly sure how this works. In most areas, you're dealing in contracts, and in most areas, in order for one to guide somebody through a contract, they need a legal license. When it comes to real estate, you don't need that. It's a contract, probably the biggest one you'll ever enter into. And there are some people who have absolutely no experience, no knowledge, no education dealing with a real estate contract. I'm going to call it like it is. Lisa told us earlier, probably 25,000 realtors in Orange County, California, give or take 5 or 10,000. I don't know. Right? There's a lot of them.
A lot.
I think last year, the year before, there were 10,000 homes sold in Orange County. Something along those lines. That means the average realtor sells somewhere between a half and a third of a property a year. Now, I know for a fact I deal with a lot of real estate contracts. I see them. I don't execute them. I see them leading a lending team. I am not qualified to write a real estate contract. I'm barely qualified to read. Read the contract. Right? I'm not qualified to write that contract.
Just
right?
like I'm not qualified to do a loan.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not good or bad. It's just what is. So who's gonna guide you? You're gonna spend $500,000. Orange County, California, median home price $950,000.
And that doesn't get you much.
That's median, right?
Yeah.
So think about this concept. Who's guiding you? Right? So you need to have a great real estate agent, not to get the sign up, not to get the pictures up, not to get your property on the internet. What you need the great realtor for is going from the writing of the contract if you're the seller, or the writing of the offer if you're the buyer, and getting you through to the closing line.
Exactly. And that's where the work starts.
And you've done this over 10 minutes, right?
It'll be 29 years.
I wasn't going to say that, so she started at 1.
It's kindergarten.
Okay, so 29 years, right?
Full time.
So I have another a broker that comes in here. She's I think 45 years in.
Mm-hmm.
She told me that there's always speed bumps in transactions.
Oh yeah, very rarely. I can count on one hand a transaction that had no issue. Every transaction has an issue.
What my comment is after 29 years, you've probably got the experience to navigate that.
Also, too, I'm going to throw this little caveat on there. 28 and a half years, I've never been sued. I've never had a complaint put in against me because I would stop and say, what do I need to do to protect my client? Not what do I need to do to get this through so I can get a paycheck.
There you go. And that's a big issue right there.
Yeah. And not to say that, that your top producers aren't out there taking care of their clients, because believe me, this is a referral business.
Sure.
You start doing things wrong, word's going to get out. And I don't even really have to advertise much anymore because most of my business is repeat and referral clients. I have agents all over the country referring clients to me.
I'm going to share one other thing. Out of all those, so Orange County has 25,000 licensees, give or take. LA County probably has same or more.
Oh, way more.
How many, what are the counties? Maybe you don't know this answer, but counties does CRMLS cover?
I It's kind of piecemeal, because the local associations have to sign on for being part of their organization, part of their MLS. Now, they are the largest MLS in the state, but they do not cover the entire state. I'm going to say they're probably at this point maybe pushing 2/3 of the state.
And how many licensees are in the state?
220,000 plus.
So that means about 140,000 members of CRMLS.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm.
My team looks at what we call qualified agents. Those are agents that do 6 transactions or more, 6 buy-sides or more.
And how many do you think? What's the percentage?
There's about 9,000 total. We have the list.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's a very, very small.
Very small.
Is that 1%? I think 140,000, less than 1%.
Yeah.
About 2/3%.
That's pretty much right.
So think about that concept. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, is the National Association of Realtors a monopoly? We're going to chat about that, and we're going to save our Your Credit Matters for tomorrow because I'm talking too much today. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, and if you missed any part of our broadcast. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime.
If you can spit it out.
No, it's not spitting it out. I got to turn the mics on. I mean, Josh leaves me one thing to do here in the studio. I got to turn the mics on and off. He does everything else in the background.
You can get that trained monkey.
Josh thinks he has a trained monkey, right? Maybe not, but not trained very well, and not because of him. It's all me, right? So I mean, I have to just turn on the microphones. Got to get a drink of water. Most people don't want to hear me drinking water or whatever it is I'm drinking. Maybe I would do better if I wasn't drinking water. Right? Maybe if it is Tito's Tuesday.
Bloody Mary's all around.
Yeah, there we go. Again, there we go. No one's
Put a little bacon in it, and we're all good.
Everything's better with bacon.
Everything is better with bacon.
Gotta love it. Okay, so as I said, Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by MySoCalLender.com. MySoCalLender.com. No, it's not. Josh told me it's not brought to you.
We're not going to do it anyhow. We have things to talk about here.
Josh in the background. I told him we're not going to do the story. We still have to get the plug out there for him. Right? I've got to pay the bill somehow, and they give me the authority just to not do their whole story today. But I still got to tell you, if you have trouble getting your credit in shape, if you got bad credit or no credit, you can just go MySoCalLender.com. We're always available to help. Now we're going to talk with Lisa Dunn, and I got to be careful now. Got to really be careful because she is a director of the National Association of Realtors. So I gotta be nice. Well, maybe not. Never done that before.
Well, hopefully I can dispel some myths, especially to any real estate professionals that are listening to this.
Okay, so we see that there's the Department of Justice. I don't know if Senator Karen's on this one too, but maybe not. So the Department of Justice.
Department of Justice. There's no senators involved.
Okay, are saying somebody's got to be pushing this idea, right? That the National Association of Realtors is a monopoly. Maybe it's because there's not another National Association of Real Estate Professionals that are not realtors. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, right? If you want to start that up, go for it.
No, thank you. You guys work too hard. Right, but the bottom, I mean, then you go to Washington and you have to talk to those people in Washington. Talk about the monkeys you're talking about.
You know, I have stories. I have stories, but that's for another day.
Exactly. But they say that they, because you force them to sell to do their job at a specific price.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about that. There's like I don't want to say price fixing or whatever, but you have to, the realtors and the MLS systems are doing this,
So
that, the other thing.
not realtors, realtors.
Realtors. That there's this talk like the National Association of Realtors is sitting up here saying, okay, you need to do this and this is this, and you can only charge that much, and our MLS is going to do this and do that. And I was listening to a Clubhouse talk yesterday. A friend of mine who's a lender in Arizona pinged me into it, and I really have not been on Clubhouse in a long time.
I didn't know anybody was on Clubhouse anymore.
It's really amazing that they're still out there, but you talk about a vat of disinformation. This group of realtors from across the country were like, we need to start a union because nobody's looking out for us. And I'm like, excuse me.
Start a union?
What drugs are you people on? And it was just madness. The whole thing was madness because as real estate agents that are dues paying realtors, they have no idea what the association's doing versus what the MLS is doing versus what their broker is doing. And they were arguing the value proposition of their broker. Hey, you don't like it? Go get a broker's license and open your own company. My eyes have been so opened up after opening a real estate company in February of 2019.
You had great timing.
Actually, it was pretty crazy, but we learned a lot and we were able to be very nimble because there is nobody dictating this stuff to you. The things that they're dictating are, if you are a member of the National Association of Realtors, you have to abide by the ethics. Really? Guess what? That's about it. You're just saying that you're going to operate at a higher level than what your state law requires. And that's really it. There's nobody telling you do this, do that. We have what we call.
Lisa's going to be on the next network. She'll be on his Truth Social after Clubhouse.
I don't know what the hell that is, but it scares the daylights out of me.
It should. For me, it's good. For you may not like it.
Well, you know what? And we talk about the free market. What business is out there that you can? Unfortunately, the bar is too low to enter into real estate. I personally think it should be much more difficult. There should be mandatory mentorship. There should be an apprenticeship program.
How about some education that's realistic instead of stuff that's from about 200 years ago?
Well,
water district. Like I really care about my water district for my test.
Yes and no. I just finished doing my continuing education, and I got to tell you, I actually learned stuff through this continuing education program.
But I think it's because you went to somewhere where you could learn something.
California Association of Realtors offers it free to all of their members. You can get 45 hours.
But if you're not licensed, are you able to go to that?
You can go through that and get the non-member price.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we do have education. Who out there is doing it? Who out there wants to be educated? What's the percentage of realtors that you guys are working with?
Yeah, about 6%.
Okay. Those are probably the ones that would take a class to learn more about being a divorce specialist. I'm a certified divorce specialist, like you are a certified divorce specialist. We took the time to get the training to do that. I'm certified military relocation professional. Certified short sale and foreclosure resource. Granted, I haven't dusted that off in who knows how many years. I'm working on my probate certification because I realize that these are the things that I have to know to serve my clients.
But that's a whole realm. And I'm not a big believer in all the alphabet after people's names, even though I have it, right? But the bottom line is the really good professionals out there are not doing it to put the alphabet after their name. They're doing it because, on all honesty and transparency, they don't want to be left behind, right?
No, I'm not going to say that.
You don't want somebody to come to you and say, well, Lisa, you're not a divorce specialist, so I'm going to go somewhere else. Your business is based on you being educated and being able to answer the consumer.
People know that I know my stuff.
Right. So you're
And
going out there
and
and
the
doing
probate
what's needed.
certificate, that's my choice because I have clients that have family members that are passing
Now, I'm going
away.
to talk to you about a passion of yours.
Ooh, I guess this means there's a commercial break.
No, no, we don't. In fact, we've. But next, this is like, I guess, a commercial. It's all the T's in radio.
Okay.
So
You gonna tease me, Ron?
Yeah, I'm going to tease you. Next Wednesday, we have got a specialist that is going to be on. That is a high-level trainer in the veterans lending.
Ooh, who is that?
Michael Fisher.
How come I don't know him?
Well, next Wednesday, we're going to introduce him to all of California.
Oh, okay. Is he a friend of Jeff Wilson?
I don't know. But Michael's coming on, and I don't know who Jeff Wilson is, but I know David Wilson.
He used to work at the Veterans Administration,
okay.
running their mortgage program, and now he's a lender in Arizona.
Yeah, so Michael has a veteran certification. We're going to have him on here just to talk about a lot of the things that nobody really knows about within the veteran
Oh my gosh,
opportunity.
that whole thing is another. Again, you want an educated agent that understands the importance of working with a lender that is experienced in VA loans, because you talk about having to know your stuff, and I'm being a good girl here. I'm saying stuff.
Right.
You really got to know your stuff if you want to successfully represent veterans and get your offers accepted.
Yeah, and that's that's going to be basically our subject: is how do you get the offers accepted? And if people are the only ones that don't want to accept them, in my opinion, are ignorant or idiots. I don't know which one, right? But that's a whole different thing. Divorce decree. What's supposed to be in the divorce decree? I want to understand that commercial. Can you explain? There's a lot that goes into divorce decree. There's no way we could put that. But mycdlp.com, or you can go and get the Divorce Your Mortgage Workbook, mydymworkbook.com, and that'll help you just understand the cross-section of divorce, real estate, lending, tax, and law. And I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not a tax guy, and I'm not a realtor. I do have a real estate license.
You must consult your tax and your lawyers.
But there is a cross-section there. So
and it depends, because every divorce is different.
Right. My DYM workbook, it's a lot of the issues of real property in there. But so going back, now I've been in a debate on social media with some folks that we frequently promote the Josh is looking at me. We promoted the idea of doing listings at 7%. Is that what the national? We were just a national note. Does the National Association of Realtors have a mandatory commission or price?
Absolutely not. In every listing agreement, there is a paragraph that is in there that states that all commission rates are negotiable. The only people that are setting commission rates are the individual agents and or their brokerage.
It's negotiable.
The National Association of Realtors, California Association of Realtors, any local association of realtors has nothing to do with commission rates.
There's the bottom line. We don't need to even, it's case dismissed.
Yes.
As
You
always,
heard it here first, folks.
Heard it here first. As always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to Josh and Sean, who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.